So you want to become smart. You're going to have to learn how to understand. Be aware that not all learning processes teach understanding. In order to understand, you're going to have to know how the world fits together. The test of your understanding will be, can you explain it to a 6-year-old? Do you know how the world is connected? Can you take all the information in your head and by thinking, put it together so that you know how it's all related to one another? How are things connected? And how do you know which of them is the most important? The more you think, the better you will become at thinking. Be aware that understanding can vary in difficulty. So if you want to navigate through life, then you're going to have to learn how to think, because without thinking, you will never understand anything. And when you learn how to think, many benefits will accrue, and you will become smarter. You must learn how to observe the world and understand how it's connected. Learning requires involvement with the real world. And so you must discover the world and see what it has to teach you. Albert Einstein once said, "I never met a person so stupid that I couldn't learn something from them." The world is filled with many other smart people. Learn from them. Listen carefully to those who understand, for their understanding can be transferred to you. The ability to think critically will be the future of your success. You may look at something, but looking is not seeing. If you want to see, then that involves thinking and using your brain, because without thinking, you cannot see. Do not try to just remember. You must make the effort to understand, because only with understanding will you be able to go to new places. Trying to learn just from books is very one-dimensional, and it is very difficult because you cannot look at two things at the same time. Books do not teach you how to think. Reading by itself does not take advantage of your visual bandwidth, which is the key to learning. So you have to be consciously involved in the process if you want to understand. Spend time thinking. Spend time imagining things, because that creativity comes from thinking about the world at large. Do not rely on memory to make your mark on the world. You may do well on Jeopardy by remembering, but you will not succeed in the real world by using only your memory. You need to focus on the connection between things in the real world. Real thinking leads to the ability to make a decision. It leads to the ability to make a conclusion. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. So the more you think, the smarter you will become. Wherever you are, take the time. Take the time to think. And that's a process of observing your environment and then being able to make conclusions. Critical thinking is thinking that is devoted to the solving of problems. Every brain is unique. Every brain is different. And the possibilities for something extraordinarily new is always possible. Highest form of thinking is intuition, because intuition is your subconscious working on a problem and then moving the answer up to your conscious mind in order to use it effectively. Remember, good questions are the way that you direct your brain down the proper road to solve your particular problem. You must have become a good thinker in order to have good intuition, because the intuition is the subconscious of the mind working on problems on behalf of your conscious mind. Be sure that you observe before you conclude. In that way, the information that your brain will work on will be objective. In order to master the ability to maximize your capability to understand, you must increase your thinking ability. Step by step, taking the process to increase your ability to understanding. And the key to that success is learning how to think properly. Understanding requires the ability to connect the dots, or the relevant information, in order to have the solution to a problem. In order to show yourself that you really do understanding, you need to formally document the relationship between the various elements that you put together to solve your problem. Albert Einstein once said, "Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler." And if you can make your understanding simple enough for an 8-year-old child to understand, then you know that all will understand, including yourself. The problems of the world are like a giant puzzle, trying to put the various pieces together in order to make this or make that happen, or to create something new. So to become smart, you have to learn to think. And the more that you think, the better that you will become at doing it. It takes smart people who have learned how to think to be able to solve the problems and put those parts of the puzzle together to find the proper solution. So the key to becoming smart is to learn how to understand and not just get by regurgitating remembered facts. No one will hire you to be a living Google. Becoming a good thinker will be the key to your future.